Welcome to another edition of Chart Talk. I'm Tony Ogorek. I'm here with Portfolio Manager Jeff Viksjo. And Jeff, today we're going to be talking about workers, the supply of workers in the country, and the fact that a lot of them haven't returned, and really what that means for inflation going forward. So let's take a look at our first chart. This has sort of a technical name to it. This is the worker participation rate. And what can we glean from that?
Yeah, if we just look at the bottom line is the employment population. So the percent of the population that has a job, that is actively working. You could see, Tony, the big drop off during COVID. That's obviously to be expected. But what's not expected is that the line has come back, but not all the way back. And it's leveled off to a point where now it's still lower than it was before COVID. So we're missing a large percentage of workers out there, and we don't know why they haven't come back to the labor force.
Well, Jeff, there are a variety of different reasons, but what we can do is take a look at gender and some little demographics to give us a little bit of insight into it. This chart really interesting. It's for males, the male labor participation rate, and we see that it's sort of unusual. The males between 35 and 44 just are not returning back to the workforce as we would expect them to.
Yeah, and that's an age group where you would expect them to need to work.
Right.
So it's largely unexplained that why this one age group between 35 and 44 has dropped out of the labor force.
Yeah. And let's take a look at women. And, again, we're looking sort of at the same area. And, we're still seeing a deficit for women returning to the workforce also.
Yeah, and here there isn't much of a difference between age groups, but they're all lower. So all age groups for women are lower than they were before COVID. And Tony, why this is a problem is we're living in a high inflation environment. And one of the things that's contributing to the inflation is wage growth. So employers are needing to pay their employees higher and higher wages. And the reason is because there's not enough workers. So because of this, because people aren't returning to the labor force, the supply of workers, the available talent to hire is low. And so when that's the case, you have to pay them more. And that's contributing to the inflation. It's a problem for the Fed that they can't seem to solve.
Yeah, bottom line, a lot of this goes back to structural types of things, Jeff. If we don't have, adequate educational, resources in this country, if we don't have adequate childcare, if we're not taking care of everybody in this country, people are going to take care of themselves. And if they can afford to drop out of the workforce, they're doing it. And we're seeing that right now. So it's going to make, like you said, the Fed's job of trying to get a handle on inflation very difficult because, like we said, some of these things are structural. They're just not going to change overnight. So interesting thought there. Thanks much for joining us for this edition of Chart Talk. We look forward to seeing you at our next talk.